another video, and today I'm gonna be ranking every week 1 game. So up first we have Dallas versus Philadelphia Eagles. It's really not a question on who's gonna win this game, because obviously Dallas losing their top defensive player, Michael Parsons, and the Cowboys getting them is just like a no-brainer on this one. But I could be, wrong about this game. It could go the totally other way. But with the Eagles still having Jalen Hurts, Saquon Barkley, and all that, sadly they're gonna win. Yeah, sadly. But I'm gonna predict the score for the game. 31. It's gonna seem tough, guys. 31 to 10. Yep, that's gonna be my score prediction. Up next, heading all the way to what country is it again? Sorry, I forgot. But it's like a different country. The Chiefs against the Chargers. Again, with Justin Herbert being like 2-7 against the Chiefs, it's really not that big of a question. But then again, they're gonna. But then Rashi Rice, he's suspended. But they also have like the Chiefs have like 8 wide receivers, and the 53-man roster. So it's really like not that big of a question. So I'm gonna predict the score 17 to 10. Up next in week 1, heading all the way to Atlanta, it's gonna be the Falcons versus the Bucks. It's a classic rivalry, but with what's his name again? Mike Evans. He's pretty good. I think last season he broke an NFL record, Jerry Rice record, and then Baker Mayfield. He's a top 10 quarterback. But the Falcons, they've beaten the Bucks a bunch of times before, but it's really not that big of a deal. So I'm gonna predict 23 to 20 as the final score. Up next, we have Joe Burrow on the Bengals, versus I'm pretty sure Joe Flacco and the Cleveland Browns. The Cleveland Browns have like 8 quarterbacks on their team, and they're all terrible. And sorry, but then again, the Bengals, they always start off 0-3, so it's a bit of a pickle or whatever. But with Joe Burrow coming in clutch, I got a feeling the Bengals will go 1-0, making the final score 23 to 17. That's what I feel like the score will be. Up next, we have Miami versus the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts having Daniel Jones as their starter quarterback. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Anthony Richardson might be a better quarterback than Daniel Jones, because y'all saw him last year. He was pretty good. He's not the best, but he was making some decent throws. But Tua is obviously a better quarterback. But the Dolphins also, their second starters are like terrible or whatever, and it's gonna come down, to the wire. But the final score for my prediction, 24 to 23, making Indianapolis 1-0. Up next, we have the Carolina Panthers versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars having the new best kicker in the league, Cam Little. It's going to be easy for them to make field goals. And the Panthers, they might do better this year. Honestly, I don't know much about these two teams. But they both seem like they both seem like pretty good when they're facing each other, but not when they're facing better teams, if that makes sense. But my prediction is going to be 20 to 17. Carolina wins. Up next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders versus the New England Patriots. It's obviously a no-brainer when you think about this, because you got Geno Smith and Pete Carroll back on the same team. The worst part is they're on the Seahawks' biggest rivals outside of their division. That's what sucks, because Pete Carroll betrayed his team. But, I feel like that they could get a playoff spot if Pete Carroll is good. So I'm gonna predict this 21-7. That's what I'm gonna predict. Final score. Up next, we have the Arizona Cardinals against the New Orleans Saints. The New Orleans Saints, they're terrible. Ever since they lost, their good players, Drew Brees, they lost Sean Payton as their head coach, going to the Broncos. Arizona Cardinals was Kyler Murray. He's pretty really good. They still got Trey McBride. It's a no-brainer on who's gonna win. But then again, the Saints could somehow come up in clutch and win. But for now, I'm just gonna predict the Cardinals winning, making the final score 24-17. Up next, we have Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers versus. Hang on, who's the head coach for the Jets? Who is? I mean, not head coach, the quarterback. The quarterback for the Jets. Justin Fields. Okay, so it's Justin Fields as their quarterback. Hang on. Justin Fields stats. Okay, so he was just on the Steelers. He made 65% of his passes, threw for only 1,000 yards. That's terrible, Justin Fields. Threw 5 passing touchdowns, 1 interception. It's a 93 rating. That was 2024 season. That's career stats. Okay, that's why. That's career stats. He's like a new player or whatever. Wait, is he? Cause hold up. How can you be playing for 5 years and throw for 1,000 yards? But he's a 93 rating. I mean, he seems like he's doing okay for a quarterback. Not the best, but I feel like that the Pittsburgh Steelers are obviously clearly the better team. So I'm gonna go 31. No, not 31. It's too much. I'm gonna go 28 to 21. Up next, New York Giants against Washington Commanders. I'm just gonna say it here. Commanders win. Don't gotta say anything. 35 to 17. Although they have Russell Wilson, the Commanders are clearly gonna beat them. Commanders win. Up next, we got the Tennessee Titans versus Denver Broncos. With Cam Ward as the first overall selected player in the NFL, he could be a bust like Bryce Young when the Panthers got him, but he could be really good. But also the Denver Broncos defense it's just too dominant with Pat Surtain and all that. So I'm just gonna go 28 to 17. Final score. Titans start off 0-1. Up next, Niners against the Seahawks. The Seahawks are going to win with the 49ers not having any wide receiver slots at all. No questions asked. Seahawks are going to win 17-10. Final score. Next up, we've got the Detroit Lions versus the Green Bay Packers. I feel like the. Oh, hang on a second. Sorry about that. Anyways, with the Green Bay Packers getting Micah Parsons, it's obviously gonna make things a bit tougher for the Detroit Lions. But then again, the Lions are always gonna make the playoffs, cause but they somehow always lose in the playoffs. Like they do so good, then lose in the playoffs. But they're gonna win. 31-28. Final score. Detroit Lions win. Next up, we got the Los Angeles Rams versus the Houston Texans. No questions asked. Team Matthew Stafford with Puka Nacua. Honestly, this he's gonna win. C.J. Stroud, he needs a few more seasons before he can be considered like a top 5 quarterback. A few more good seasons. So I'm just gonna predict this final record: 31-17. Rams win it. Now this is a game everybody is excited for. Rams versus the Bills playoff rematch. Honestly, I feel like the Bills have this one in the bag because the Ravens last season they started off 0-1, and this season they're gonna start off 0-1 again. Lamar Jackson is good, and since they're playing the Bills at home, it's gonna make them a lot tougher because Bills have home field advantage, so the Bills will win. I'm gonna go 17. Oh, actually no, 17-10. Final score. Actually, no, it's too low for the teams. 35-28. Last game for week 1 of the NFL season, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Minnesota Vikings. Hang on a second. Vikings QB. The Vikings' new quarterback is J.J. McCarthy. His stats, hang on a sec, guys. J.J. McCarthy stats. Let's see his stats right now. He's thrown for 30 yards and 0 touchdowns because he plays in the preseason or whatever. Well, that's this year. My bad. That's this year. But he lost to the Titans. The Titans backups and all that. Just lost. And then you have the Bears quarterback, Caleb Williams. Still Caleb Williams. He got his stats. He's thrown 6 interceptions, 2024 season, 20 touchdowns, 3,000 yards. That's honestly pretty decent for your first year. So I'm gonna have to go with the Bears on this one. Don't get me wrong, the Vikings still got Justin Jefferson and those players, but when it comes to the quarterback, spot, the Bears have it. I'm gonna go 17-14. They're gonna go for a game-winner field goal. 17-14. So this is gonna be my record predictions in week 1. That's it for today, guys. I will after every week 1 game has been played, I'm gonna predict the week 2 games. Okay, y'all. So till next time, peace.